Thank you, Prime Minister. Can I also acknowledge the passing of Barry Humphries and say that Dame Edna is an institution in New Zealand as well as Australia, and I'm sure New Zealanders will also be feeling that loss. As we observed when I visited in February, Australia and New Zealand are more than friends, we're family. People-to-people links are at the core of our relationship. Both of our governments have publicly acknowledged that the situation in Australia for many New Zealanders has been challenging. New Zealand has long sought a fair go for them and arrangements that are reciprocal to what is offered to Australians living in New Zealand. And so I'm pleased to be here today to mark a significant step that Australia has taken to make the pathway to citizenship much easier for New Zealanders who choose to live and work permanently here. As I noted in my remarks at the ceremony, I do want to particularly acknowledge you, Prime Minister Albanese, and your leadership of these changes. I also want to acknowledge the members of your government who have supported our Aus-Kiwi advocates here in Australia over a long period of time. These changes are historic. They're the biggest in a generation, and they will make an enormous difference to the lives of so many people making Australia home. Before the ceremony, the Prime Minister and I had a discussion on some of our other key common areas of interest. In particular, we discussed the geostrategic challenges in our region and how, as allies, Australia and New Zealand can continue to work together to advance our common interests and values. We're close friends who work together to defend these essential values in an increasingly complex world. The discussion did include Australia's recent announcements on AUKUS, and New Zealand, like Australia, is clear-eyed that there is a challenging strategic environment in the Indo-Pacific region. We both want a stable, secure and resilient region, and New Zealand agrees with the AUKUS partners that the collective objective needs to be the delivery of peace and stability and the preservation of an international rules-based system in our region. We have a long and positive history of working together on these matters, and I also acknowledge our ongoing joint commitment to the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons, and I welcome your assurance that nothing in the AUKUS arrangement alters Australia's commitment to that. We also discussed aspects of the bilateral relationship, especially this 40th year of the closer economic relations agreement. This year is an opportunity to acknowledge the transformational impact that CER has had on our economies, our integration, and our economic resilience. From a New Zealand perspective, we want to continue to drive further integration of our economies. We talked about the possibility of new initiatives this year, and of course we talked about arrangements for the annual leaders meeting later this year. And I look forward to meeting Prime Minister Albanese again in the coming months, both at upcoming international events such as the King's coronation, but also when you have an opportunity to visit New Zealand, where we will make you very, very welcome.